Good morning. I'm Jean, and today is moving day for us. We're full-time RVers. We have a fifth wheel. We have a Grand Design Solitude 380 FL 2025 edition. And as I was sitting here preparing for our move, I thought, let me do a quick video because this may be helpful to somebody. So let me kind of show you guys what I do and what I've done so far. So this is my living room area, also my office area. I use the space just above the fireplace there as my office. Set my laptops and everything up there. I have Starlink, and I'm good to go. I normally have my desk chair, sitting there before the fireplace, or I have a standing mat. But this is my office chair. I found a pretty simple system for when we're moving, and it's to pile whatever I can't have on the floor, put it in the chair, essentially. With the exception of this chair, because the two slides, this slide here, along with this slide, they will come in to meet, and they meet perfectly on both sides of my chair. And I figured out if I have that centered with my fireplace, I'm good to go. And I still keep an eye on it when we move the slides, but as you can see, I have it set up that way. I do intentionally have the wheels facing the chair just in case something happens. If this happens to slide, if we happen to break and it just really needs to slide, it's more protective for the glass there. But I have no whatnot sitting around. I generally don't. I like to keep things pretty simple. What I do have that's in our cabinets, they're pretty secured, so they're not coming loose very easily. And everything else I just kind of have on the chairs for the most part. I don't need to move my rug or anything like that, because there is a lip between the floor and the couch. And so the couch area is what's going to slide in, and again, it will meet right up against my chair. So my rugs are secure. I figured that out here since we've been moving. This is my kitchen area. Still got a little bit to do here. I need to put my coffee pot away, and of course binoculars and whatnot. But I just try to make sure there's nothing that is going to fall or anything like that. Still have some stuff to do. I do have to take the rugs up in here because these slides they slide right in. And I have to take those up. And I need to make sure that there's no debris on the floor. So I make sure my floors are clean. I actually steamed them last night. And make sure there's just nothing there preventing them from coming in. My flowers, I will be taking those down. Lastly, whenever we finish dumping the tanks, and I set those in the sink. I just have those three. As much as I love plants, I don't want to overwhelm myself. And again, I just try to keep it simple, and those are fine with me. My chairs are secured. I have a little snap and release. I don't know if you can see it there, but it's just like a little buckle. And I've got those pretty secure, so they will not be flying all over the place. For my cabinets, I make sure that I have stuff that's kind of packed so it's not going to fall, especially have nothing break. And there's a lip here, so as we're traveling, if something happens to slide, it's going to be okay. It's not going to be really bad, but I do try to make sure that I have it so that, it's not going to just have a big mess, because I like to just try to keep things simple. I did put my onions in here, as you can see. They'll be fine there. Normally, I have them hanging here, but I had the bright idea to take them out the bag. Anyways, that's where I'm at with that. And that's a smaller bath. There's nothing to do in there. We rarely use that. This is my bedroom we're coming into. For the bedroom, again, I have to take the rug up off the floor, which I've already done. I cleaned the floor. As you can see, we've tracked a little bit of debris in here. I'll get that up. And I just make sure that our doors are secured. These are barn style doors, and they slide like so. So I make sure that these are nice and secure before we travel. And it is. This slide here will slide out, and it will come all the way in and meet the dresser. So I make sure that anything, this is a little bug zapper that I saw, works great too. If you have problems with gnats or anything like that, this works really well. So I make sure that those things are out of the way. In this door, bathroom door is secured. For the bathroom, this doesn't slide or anything like that, but I do try to make sure that just everything is pretty much out of the way. That's the rug for the bedroom. And I'll put my bathroom stuff there. I do make sure that this is secured. This is my sliding glass door. So whenever we're traveling, I make sure that all 3 panes are secured, and it pushes down and snaps. That way I know it's locked. That's very important, because you don't want that thing sliding all around as you're traveling. And that's it. I put my trash cans up. They're already emptied and everything. I make sure I don't want a complete mess while we're traveling. And I'll actually put this, I'm going to keep it real simple, and I'm just going to put that here on the bed, like so. I try to make sure that all the blinds are up, so if we need to stop, and just take a look at things, we don't have to worry about fumbling around in the dark. We generally keep these closed, and then just pull and open, standard. And what else? Those are secure. Set my bag over here. Anything here in the bedroom that I do not want to, put away, or, whatever the case, I can always just lay stuff here on the bed, because that's going to be pretty secure. And I found that to be a great place to just kind of store some stuff if you need to. My cabinets, let me show you that, because I think that's pretty important. What I like to do is when I go to Sam's Club or BJ's or anything like that, I get boxes. It doesn't have to be this style box, just any kind of a small box to keep my stuff contained in. And I like traveling like that because I like keeping stuff pretty simple. And I try to keep it very easy for moving day. And my theory is I really won't have to get ready if I'm already ready. So I kind of stick with that. And it has worked for me. We've only been doing this for, 4 months, I guess? 3 or 4 months. And I've just come to know some little steps that I can take to keep life a lot simpler for us as we're traveling, and not have to be overwhelmed with, oh my God, I got to put all this stuff away. So that works for me, to each his own. But that's just a kind of a quick overview of what I do to prep on the inside. I have a few more things to do. Paul is outside getting stuff ready on the outside, dumping the tanks and everything. If you have any questions, let me know. If you have any suggestions, I am open to it. Let me show you something quick too that I figured out. So you see, I got a hanging rod there, because I don't want to put holes and all that in the walls here. So I've got a curtain rod that I just hang my hanging plants on. And so when I take those down, I'll take the rod down too, but I can put it right back up there and it'll be secure. I thought that was pretty neat. I was just sitting back thinking, what can I do to hang my plants up, but I don't want to put a hole in the ceiling. So that works for us. So I have a few more things to do. I'm going to do that. If you have any questions at all or any suggestions, please pass them on to me. And I appreciate you watching. And thank you. You guys have a great day.